Alright everybody, we're going to start checking into our practice here. You can start cross-legged. We're going to recross our legs as we're sitting here. But you want to think about sitting up straight. We're going to be palm down. Doesn't matter where our shoulders are right now. And just start to get a breathing flow that works for you. You're going to recross your legs maybe for the first time if you haven't already. And then when your hands come back to your knees, they could be palm up, palm down, whichever you prefer. Sitting up nice and tall, we're going to be breathing in and out. Nice deep breaths. We're connecting now with our palms facing up. Our shoulders are sitting further towards our back, really pressing together almost. Helping our posture, helping our breathing. Everything's about breathing right now. We're going to be in through our nose and then gently out our mouths. When you're ready, we're going to be dropping our chins to our chest, palms to the ground, and the next big inhale, when you're ready, we're going to inhale, raising the arms up our side, raising our gaze up with the arms. The big inhale, the hands come together. This first one will have a pause. Right about here, we'll slide our hands to our heart center, bowing to that divine light that keeps us all practicing, keeps us all focused. Now on the way down will be the exhale, on the way up will be the inhale. So as you cycle the arms, we'll flex at the knuckles, reach towards the floor, raise the gaze and the arms together. That's your inhale. The fingertips are going to come together, and we'll slide our hands down. We're going to cycle through this a few times, lifting those arms, raising our gaze, breathing in with our breath. Through the nose, out the mouth. Continue to cycle your breath and your arms in a circular motion towards your sides. We'll twist towards our right when we're ready. Left hand behind our right knee, right hand behind our lower back. 2 to 3 breaths here is fine. Big inhale, raising our arms to our sides to the sky, leaning forward for the center. And our next inhale is going to send us up high to the sky, down the center. And we'll be twisting in the opposite direction now towards our left, right hand behind the left knee, left hand behind the low back. Raising the hands up towards the center. Okay position with the hands if you would like to. And here we're looking for the cat and cow. We want to have our hands positioned directly under our shoulders. We want our knees positioned directly under our hips. Try to take the sag out of our back for just a second, and then we blow the ground away, tucking our head and tailbone, raising the spine, and then dropping the spine and the navel, raising our head and tailbone. Inhale and then exhale as we raise that spine. Move on your breath, cat and cow, blowing the ground away, and then sucking it back towards you. Begin to find that bit of a flex in your spine. This is something every practice in the morning you could do, and even just stop at this position here. Even just doing this will increase your mobility and how comfortable you feel inside that mobility each and every day. We're going to come to our forearms now. We'll look for that child's pose. Keep our thumbs up here, extending our legs long, dropping our butts. Really important to look down towards the ground. Let our neck stay comfortable, let our butt stay low. And we're going to begin with a plank on our forearm, left arm on the ground, right hand on our hip. You can reach up towards the sky. Keep the legs straight back or pointed up, whichever you prefer. Most important is to be stable on that forearm, stable on the blade of that left foot. Last breath, we're going to get our hands back to our hips, back to the center forearm plank. We'll take a breath here, just warming up our upper body for what's to come. We're getting ready to post on our right forearm that moves towards the center, the right blade of the foot, and we're going to be planked on our right side, right forearm. We'll come back to the center plank, forearms are on the ground, knees down. We're going to look for one more child's pose here. Stretch it out, raise the side body, raise the shoulders if you feel you need to. At any point you can return to this position. If something in the practice doesn't seem like something you want to do, you can come right back to this child's pose at any time. Always try to avoid injury, always keep yourself safe. Yoga is about being comfortable with slight discomfort as opposed to everything being uncomfortable and no comfort. We'll pitch down to our first downward dog. We can pedal our knees out. Here I like to focus on making sure that I'm not too round in my back. My back's making the same direction to the ground as my arms. And I'm pedaling the knees side to side, maybe a small twist in there if I want to. Just something to get a little extra motion, a little extra movement. It's about moving your body. Raise our toes. We're on our downward dog here. Any last movements if you want. We're going to go ahead and walk our feet up forward. Leave the knees completely bent. We're looking to have our hands on the ground, our head is loose. Everything loose, deep bend in the knees. Just be present in the moment. We're going to look for a chair pose, extending the arms out back and then swinging them on forward. Arms and upper body should generally be pointing in the same direction, sending it on forward for the forward fold. Long straight legs hanging heavy in the head and arms, sliding up the shins for the first half lift, looking forward. Big exhale, let the arms hang, let the head hang for your forward fold. We're going to drop our palms, make sure to get them flat, big bend in the knees, however much it takes to get them there. And the head is hanging nice and loose. I'm going to step our feet back now. Get onto our right sides for a side plank from the right palm. If you'd like to be from the right forearm, again, you can. Here we are. We're going to take the left leg, step it on forward. Stay on the toes of the right leg. Swing the arms up forward for a nice big lunge. However far apart you want to stand with your feet is fine, but we want to make sure to be turning facing forward. Our left knee not passing our left ankle. Send the hands on down. We're going to kick the foot on back and look for our wild thing, letting it touch behind us. Our hand is left the ground. We're focused on letting that side body as high as we can, point super tall. Left arm in the sky, left leg back. We're going to just kick it up into the air now. We're going to take our flow, high plank with the left leg up, swing on forward for the first up dog. Both feet are on the ground. Tall on our shoulders. We're going to think now about pushing into our toes and finding the next downward dog. At this point, we're extending long. We're going to come back now to our opposite side. Stepping on forward with the right leg, we're going to swing our arms up for the next lunge, opposite side here. We're going to get our feet even, wash the hands on up to our sides for our mountain pose. Swing them back on up, meeting up at the top. Forward fold. Stand back up, meeting the hands back up at the top. We'll find our forward fold one more time. Try to raise your toes if you can, so that the base of your feet, we're not gripping. We're going to plant our hands now, bent in the knees. We're going to look for our first crow if you'd like to. If you don't want to take this crow, you can feel free to jump the hands back, slow push up towards the floor, up dog to down dog. We're going to raise our left leg for our three-legged dog. Step it on forward, drop the heel, windmill the right arm forward. We're being very, very thin here on our mats for Warrior 2. Making sure that the left knee's not past the left ankle. Both ankles are even. We're going to send it on back. Dropping our right arm to our right leg. Raising the left arm. We'll come forward now, left elbow to left knee. We're going to reach up above our heads with the right arm. It's important not to let our necks get lazy and drop heavy onto our shoulder. We want to make sure our spine is nice and straight while we're doing this. And send it on back to Warrior 2, the surfboard. Wave the right arm forward. We're going to plant our hands on the side of our foot. We're going to take this modified crow here. The left knee is on the back of the left elbow. You could take a regular flow if you want to, or you can kick it on back and look for this modified crow. Let the feet drop. Slow push up, up dog. Raising the right leg this time. We're going to step on through, drop that left heel, make sure it stays in line. Washing the left arm up, we're going to find Warrior 2, the surfboard, staying narrow. Try to lift those toes if you can. And in a moment, our left arm is going to find our left leg. The right arm is going to open up, facing towards the ceiling. Pitch this one back. You may find that one side is more tight than the other. It's okay. It happens. It happens to all of us all the time. The right arm finds our right knee. We're going to reach up with the left arm. You'll find in each and every practice that different positions are going to feel tight in different ways at different times. It's important to accept this as opposed to fight it, keeping your practice comfortable for you at all times. Coming back to Warrior 2. We're going to wash the left arm forward, planting on both sides of our foot, looking for this modified crow again. Sometimes I got to pump the leg, get myself up, make sure to point those toes, drop the feet to the floor nice and gently. Slow push up dog to down dog. You can fit a child's pose in at any time. We're getting ready to find a new set of positions here, so we're going to look for child. A few breaths just to start connecting with the fact that you've made it through the first phase of this practice, and we're moving on to the next set of body parts here. Find our downward dog one last time. Left leg's going to raise. We're going to drop our leg up in front of us, looking for pigeon. Our left leg will be forward, and we're going to plant our hands firmly. The left heel pointing towards the right hip, and we're tall. Now we're going to reach back in a second. I'm going to look for my foot here, take a hold of the right foot. Gripping the floor with my toes, I can either choose to leave my hand down, I can choose to not grab my leg at all, or I can choose to raise the right leg with my grip, raise my left arm with the OK sign. Let our foot go. We're going to plant our hands, grip with those toes in the right foot, kick on back. I like to have a little bit of a flex. We're going to come to the plank, switch the feet, bring it on up, small bend, send it on forward. The right knee forward, we're coming down for this pigeon. The right heel is pointing towards the left hip. Our left leg is straight back, both palms planted firmly, long straight arms. We're trying to be tall in our chest, big with our gaze. Reaching on back, looking for that left foot if it's in your practice. You can stay right here, or you can begin to find the OK signs with your right hand, raising it up tall. To do this on the opposite side. Sometimes it'll feel easier, sometimes it'll be harder, so it's worth it to give it a shot every time. Dropping this right hand, we're going to swing on down, planting both feet. Gripping the floor with the toes, we'll send the legs on back. Here we're going to transition to our backs now. However you get there is fine. There's no grace to be found in just getting your butt and sitting down, so get there as fast as you can. We're going to look for the windshield wipers, pointing both knees to one side then the other. Remember to stay connected with the ground at all times, palms down right here. So I'm going to heel toe to the side, pointing both knees towards my left. I'll be here for just a moment, a few breaths, and then the left blade of the foot will stack on top of the outside of the right knee. And I'll try to heel toe this nice and flat. I'm going to walk these legs up now so that the right foot is flat on the ground, left heel on the back of the right knee. When I feel I can readjust, I feel it's time to move on. So if my leg feels like it's becoming more loose in this position, I can move forward. You can stay right here. None of the poses coming up you absolutely have to do. But if you'd like to, you can pivot this foot to the side, your right foot helping it along the way so that your left foot finds its way towards the ground. The side of your right leg is on the floor. I always like to reconnect for a minute with the OK sign, staying flat, to check in to make sure I'm doing something my body likes. You can look to grab these ankles, find a little bit of a mild bind right here. Like I said, at any point you can stop in the pose that you are. This will meet right back to where it began. And we're going to let go and come up to our side here, and we're going to hug this knee in tight, the left arm hugging the left knee, the right hand as a post. I'm going to readjust in a moment. We're going to do a few arm balances coming up. Like I said, you can even stay here. You do not have to go for these. You can do your own arm balance at this time in the video if you'd like to. So we'll get the readjustment. And now we're going to look to take our right elbow on the side of our left knee on the outside, looking over our shoulder to make sure we increase this twist. Keep our spine tall from the ground. And then I'm going to be rolling over my right shin, looking for the arm balance where my left knee will be on the side of my right elbow. The left arm is going to match what the other arm is doing here so that they're even. And then I'm going to come up forward. You can leave the knees bound. I like to point them to the side. A little bit of a balance issue. Adjust this if you need to, but we want to keep the leg split pointing, looking in the direction. We'll hop and catch with our right thigh, sticking the legs out long. And that right there is the end of the sequence. However you'd like to sit. Sometimes a little bit of a counter twist will feel nice. Back to our backs, feet firmly on the floor. We're going to do the same sequence on the next side. So if you feel that you're excited, you'd like to give it another shot, now is your chance. The knees are going to swivel windshield wiper, and eventually they're going to stay pointing towards our right. When you're ready, we're going to stack our side of our blade of our foot on the outside of our left knee, right foot to left knee, and we're going to try to effort these towards the floor. Doesn't matter where they end up, as long as they're in position at all. And we'll walk this foot so that it's flat on the ground. Adjust our right foot behind the back of our left knee. A few deep breaths to connect, looking for OK signs, keeping us flat on the ground, feeling my fingers flat on the floor, connected with the flat ground beneath me. You can stay where you are, or you can begin to heel toe the left foot so that the right foot finds the ground. We can look for this bind. We're going to come up to our left elbow, We're going to sit tall, any readjustments that we need to. Now we're going to swing our left elbow to the outside of our right knee, taking the same twist. Now we can stop here, or we can take the exact same arm balance that we saw a few minutes ago. When you're ready, we're going to roll over our shin that's on the ground, keeping our left elbow directly behind and to the side of our knee, swinging on forward, separating these legs, pointing them, looking in the direction that we're pointed, and then we'll kind of hop, catch with our thigh, and extend both legs out long. Left thigh on the back of the left elbow, back to a sitting position, and back to your back. Feet flat on the ground, knees bent. I like to hug my knees in. These shorter windshield wipers make me feel good. And after some good twists, we can go ahead and hug these knees in. Small sideways motion kind of massages my back into the floor. Kind of a strange aid to take, but the floor is there. You may as well use it. So we're just going to sit a couple of last little twists and stretches that we need. I like to get to the blades of my feet on the ground and kind of come right to this position here. You can stay right here, blades of the feet on the ground, hips just above our feet, hands holding those hips up in the air. And if you'd like to come forward more and just balance on the blades of the feet, you can. Any version of this is fine. Sometimes I'll walk these forward, lean into it heavy, start to come up. Anything you want to do, anything that feels good. So from this point, we're looking for some inversions. This first one, the tripod, you can do this one and stay here. We're going to give a few crazier ones a shot. You're going to extend the legs long, contact the floor with the top of your head, hands and head even distance apart, one knee at a time on the back of each elbow, toes pointed towards the sky. Now you can stay there. You can do some variations with the legs, as you'll see. You want to make sure to be strong in your neck, not leaning to the side, not being on the front of your forehead. Stable at all times. If you feel you're going to fall out of this position, it's best to tuck your head and roll over a shoulder as opposed to your neck. Any variation you want to take with the legs is fine. As they come down, you want to make sure that they rest on the knees first and then the toes find the floor. You don't want to just drop straight down if you don't have to. Being upside down at all makes this effective for your body in terms of circulation, so anything you do with the legs is an added bonus. Bring those to the floor nice and gently as we come off of our inversion, taking a few minutes. This next one is a scorpion, a favorite of mine. I don't get to do it all the time. Sometimes my back feels so tight that it's not possible at all, so it's important to realize that every single practice is going to be different. You're not going to be able to do the same things all the time. Your goal is to be able to do that. But forgive yourself if that's not possible, because it's not about the challenge and looking at what you can't do. It's always the challenge of looking at what you can do. So here we are on the forearms, one leg at a time. Get them straight first. Then think about bringing them together, pointing the toes. And then, of course, the more I can look forward, the more I can point my toes and arch my back, the better. If you guys have stuck with me this entire time, every position, thank you so much. It's time to take a break. I try to get to a really high child's pose, maybe a bit of a rocking in my hips. Super happy with that one. And you can, of course, swing to your butt. Lay yourselves on down, feet flat on the floor, legs flat if you'd like to. In Savasana, we're breathing. We're letting ourselves know that we're going to let our practice go. We're going to enjoy the times that we've spent. You all did an amazing job. A few more breaths. We're going to lay to our side now in the fetal position, get ready to be reborn back into the world, a new person. We'll find a cross-legged position that we began class with. If you want to sit on yoga blocks, that's fine. We're going to sit cross-legged. And we're getting ready to exit our practice and say goodbye. Drop our chins, drop our hands. One more time, circle them up towards the ceiling. We're going to join the fingertips, join the heels of our hands, slide it down to the heart center. Namaste.